Hello and welcome back to Shokuho. We're in a siege as we had to retreat from Edo, unfortunately. The main reason for that is because I actually couldn't think of a way for us to succeed in that siege at the moment. I decided that what I would do is I would let my vassals go and do whatever they wanted to do because we started to receive war declarations. Yes, war declarations from pretty much every single faction in the area. And so I thought to myself, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to do about this, you know? Because we have now received 3 additional war declarations. And, well, let's face it, that is not particularly a good idea. It's not a very good idea for us to continue to besiege the same location while we are facing such an uphill battle in regards to pretty much every other thing currently going on in the world. So we're going to have to do a little bit of something about that. And that means, you know, dealing with those people, and then maybe a little bit later on, then we can return to Edo and actually do the damage that we need to do. I was very much actually looking forward to going in there because it is a challenge, huge challenge for us. And, well, a challenge for me specifically more like, because I'm obviously someone that likes to run in there, like to have fun and, you know, do damage and, you know, kill things. And yeah, when I'm facing such an enormous force of people in the garrison, of course, I'm going to have to play differently. I'm going to have to play very differently, play very cautiously, and that's not something that I particularly like to do. But that actually can very much happen. We can probably do it. We just have to be, as I say, we just have to be very careful about how we decide to make our way into the castle itself, and indeed how we want to take damage. I don't know why I went all the way around the tower, but there you go. Anyway, yeah, so that's basically what we've got to do. It's all about making sure we take very little, or at the very least 0 damage, basically. We basically need to take 0 damage along the way in the early stages of the battle, and then make some kind of push towards the inevitable end of the siege. I mean, you can see here right now, look at what I'm doing right now. This is obviously not a good idea. If we were doing the Edo siege, me being by myself right here, absolutely terrible. Not a good way to go, right? Not a good way to go. Do you think I can actually kill this guy from... Oh, you can actually... Okay, you can thrust through here. This is hilarious. This is actually hilarious. This is very cool. I did not know you could do this. I did not know you could do this. I thought you'd have to shoot all of these people, but no, you don't. And so this is funny. Oh, this is hilarious, actually. This is great. Okay, I was not expecting this. I was thinking to myself that we were going to have some kind of big problem, but no. Okay, you learn, eh? Yeah, you learn something new every day, as they say. And, well, that's no exception here, by the looks of things. And so, there you go. That is very cool, actually. That means that I can actually reduce the amount of damage that my forces are taking a significant amount just by me coming up here and eliminating all these enemies very simply. I don't even need to really try to do damage here, because all I need to do is do a nice little thrust through the hole here. You know, a big penetration through the hole, and it's all that we need. That's it. These guys had no idea that we were going to be able to penetrate their holes. It's actually really quite staggering. And look at the amount of damage we can even deal to the gate. We can just get that destroyed almost immediately. Look at my HP as well. My HP is doing fantastically. And the funny thing is, I don't think they really truly realize how much us being able to do damage through the hole here is making such a big difference to our survival. Because look at my HP. Usually, if I were to come in here to this courtyard, I'd have every single one of these archers turning around to face me and shooting at me and making it very uncomfortable for us. But actually, you know what? Attacking them from outside means that the actual structure, the structure itself, is providing us with protection, which is hilarious if you think about it, you know. That is so incredibly cool. In my opinion, at least, I absolutely love that. Okay, so, well, we're going to see what happens, obviously, but, yeah, we're going to take a little bit of damage here, of course. And there's the door. That's okay, though. We should be fine. Yeah, we're just going to hopefully help this guy out a little bit. Nice. Nice. There we go. And we can hopefully make our way around here. No gunners, please. No gunners. No gunners. There we go, nice little thrust, and then we can deal with the archer nest as well. This, I have to admit, is one of my more favorite sieges, just because it does have that lovely, lovely mixture of, you know, sort of like countryside and city architecture and environment and, you know, all that wonderful stuff, because literally being able to run through these little areas here, super fun. Really, really fun. And I like the fact that it is obviously a very, very different experience to what we're used to with the town sieges. And you can see here, look at this. And obviously, because it's snowing, right? It's snowing. It's got this wonderful, wonderful, what is it now? What is the term I'm looking for right here? I'm not going to be able to remember it now, but the fact is, it's very scenic. That's it. It's very scenic. It's got this very pleasant, you know, look to it, because obviously it's snowing. We've got, well, arrows whizzing past our heads. Yes, that's maybe not the most pleasant thing, but it's still very, very cool. Very atmospheric, I suppose you could also call it. Now, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm doing this, and obviously this is easy enough, but it probably would have been easier for me to attack these guys from outside, because now look at what's happening. I'm taking damage from them, despite me being potentially able to do damage from them on the outside. And you can see here that I actually took significant hits just because I didn't attack them from the outside. If I had, I probably would have taken 0 damage. So that is actually something that we need to take into account when we're doing those lengthier sieges. This is all paying dividends, basically. This is all actually paying itself forward for when we do eventually get into a scenario where we will utilize these strategies. I think it really makes a huge difference. Actually, really staggering, actually. I'm kind of shocked, to be honest, that there's still stuff that I didn't know about this mod, at least, because there are so many reasons why having, you know, like, for example, look at this, right? I technically shouldn't really gain any kind of benefit from doing this, but it's so cool that you can do it. And obviously, I mean, look, I can just hide behind here. No one can shoot me. If I were to go straight on in, I would have issues, you know? I would have issues dealing with this. Obviously, this guy is capable of blocking, and indeed, we did get shot now because there are people on the inside, but the point still stands that this is still a very good strategy, because the amount of people that you see here on the other side, they are completely and utterly defenseless if you thrust through the hole there. Very nice. Gotta say, very, very nice. Okay, so now we just have to be a little bit careful here. I am gonna probably get shot by another gunner in a minute. Probably. Possibly. Yeah, there is a gunner in there. There is a gunner right there. Nice. Nice. There we go. Let's not take damage from this guy, or maybe we will. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. That was a hilarious death there, though. Very, very fun. Okay, so I'm actually going to wait for I'm going to watch this guy, actually. I think I'm going to watch this guy, and we're going to see how he does for the rest of the siege. I'm kind of a bit weirded out by the fact that my forces are so far behind. I'm not sure why they're taking so long to, well, go anywhere. I think they might be getting a little bit stuck sometimes. I mean, you can see here, this guy is having some big issues actually deciding where he wants to go. But, yeah, I mean, you can see here, they're literally running... Are you serious that they're running all the way back? Look at that. Okay, yeah, this siege has a bit of a maybe a bit of a pathing problem. I'm actually not entirely sure, but yeah, we are definitely going to be achieving victory here. As you can clearly tell, we have already eliminated 360 enemies, and that should be it. Alright, so there it is, 123 renown and 146 influence or something along those lines, and that's pretty nice. I like it, I like it. Okay, so no food here, unfortunately, but there you go. That's just how it goes. And so we have now taken Nomi Castle. So this obviously is not exactly what I wanted to take, you know, because of course we actually wanted to take Edo if we could. However, and now this is the big thing here, I am trying, if I can, to eliminate the Takeda clan or to eliminate some other clan that is actually causing us some problems at the moment. Also, we have received a peace agreement, or at the very least, they want to make peace with us, or we want to make peace with them. It's very much dependent on what our vassals are going to go for. Pretty sure they want to make peace because we are at war with too many, yes, as you can quite clearly see here. So, unfortunate for me, but I will be making peace with the HOJO clan. This is a huge, huge problem, and something that we should not have done, but there isn't really much for me to do here. Ah, yes, as you can see, I have just lost all of my influence. I'm going to assume that that is due to me agreeing with the peace agreement or something like that. I think that is a bug. I think that must be a bug, surely. There can't be... you can't lose all of your influence just for agreeing with a peace agreement or something, but surely. Anyway, as you can see, we have the Takeda clan right here. Our army has actually been doing some pretty good work, and that's also the reason why I wanted them to do that. They did actually take a couple of castles and things like that. However, as you can see, the army that is now currently running around is over here. I'm not entirely sure why they're over there, to be honest, but I'm trying my best by myself, okay? I'm trying my best solo here, and we'll see what we can do. So we have... oh, wow, we have a lot of places to go to. Okay, let's go to take this. Yeah, so as you can see, they did actually take Kawagoe Castle, and I was actually thinking to myself, why did they take this? Because obviously this is really close to Edo right here, obviously, because as you can see right there. Now, the main thing is that I was thinking to myself, okay, if I let these guys go, and I go and do other things, because we're in HOJO territory, I kind of half expected them to create their own army, which they did instantaneously, by the way. They created their own army, and then they started to go off, and I thought, okay, they're going to do something really, really cool. And actually, for the first few days, they did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. They basically just went back to Ichijodani, as far as I'm aware, and they basically did nothing there for a few days, and then they started to take things. Now you can see here that we're actually going to be losing Mori Castle in a second, I assume, because that is actually under siege right now. I was kind of hoping that they would do something a little bit more effective, but our vassals do seem to be a little bit useless at the moment. I'm not entirely sure why, but yes, they do seem to be a little bit weird. I don't know what's happening with that. Anyway, we are going to obviously be rescuing, or should we say converting, a couple of people to our side. And then we are going to go in versus the garrison at Minowa. And this is probably going to be one of the easiest town sieges we've ever had, to be honest. Okay, so yeah, we're actually in a battle. Bit of a weird one, really, because these guys were kind of stalking us for a little bit of time as we were attempting to starve out the garrison. Because obviously, in this case, I think starving out the garrison is probably going to be the most efficient course of action. Now, obviously, I'm always expecting enemy vassals to try to, you know, intercept us, interfere, you know, basically doing anything they can to kind of annoy us. And in this case, I thought, okay, well, these guys, they only have 500. I'm going to say only here because their composition was not very good. And so that's the reason why I'm a little bit surprised that they even decided to head in here to begin with. Because look at what is happening now. Look at what is about to happen. Look at this. Absolute insane damage. Insane damage from us. And maybe, just maybe, I mean, look, they are not really going to be able to do too much here. I'm going to tell my cavalry and my horse archers to charge in right now. I'm going to be a little bit of a distraction here. Going to charge in right through the archers. And that is pretty much all she wrote, in my opinion. The initial charge is so important. If you can win that initial charge, it's more than likely that you will win the remaining portion of the battle. Obviously, this is not always the case. If you're up against an extremely large army, then this obviously doesn't really, that doesn't really count, you know, because there are going to be multiple reasons why that would be the case. You know, maybe there's a bunch of really high tier units waiting in the wings to murder you, and yeah, that kind of thing can happen very easily. However, in this situation, when they only have about 600, they don't really have anything to really back up their initial charge. So we are going to be going into an auto delegate here, and we're gonna try to push the advantage, because we've not lost anyone, as you can quite clearly tell. We have lost 0 people, so it's going to be very nice and easy for us to push this advantage, hopefully, and make them pay for what they attempted to do. Oh, and as you could see, the enemy is now deciding to completely retreat. They literally decided to retreat when they saw that we were charging after them. And that is exactly the reason why I say every single time, it's actually a good idea to be a bit aggressive sometimes, you know? If you're a little bit aggressive and you try to push that, then maybe the enemy is going to think, oh, actually, you know, I think I will get out of here this time. And indeed, that is exactly what they did. Crazy. I really wasn't expecting that. I thought, oh no, they're going to fight to the very, you know, bitter end. And, yeah, it's going to be a little bit problematic, but no, they actually decided to be a little bit frugal, you know, a little bit frugal with their forces, which, well, all intents and purposes has actually backfired a bit, because now they are eliminated, you know, completely and utterly eliminated here, which is quite weird. So there you go. Anyway, we're going to continue the siege here. As you can see, I have 2 days left. Oh, we got another war declaration. That is quite weird. Look at this. Wow. What's really funny is that most of these factions only have 1 town to their name, or a handful of towns at the very least. As you can see, the Date clan right there with 3 towns, Nanbu with 3, Satomi with 1, and the Takeda clan with 1 as well. Obviously, Takeda clan had many more, but yeah. Anyway, we're paying 11,000. We're paying 11,000. Yes, I'm not sure why we're paying 11,000 to the HOJO clan, considering I think, personally, we won that engagement. We won the engagement with them. But apparently our vassals thought differently, and now we have... we've made one of the worst... You see, this is the reason why I personally think that the UI, especially the UI, when it comes to diplomatic peace agreements and so on and so forth, that needs to be improved ever so slightly. Basically, you just need to know how much you're actually going to end up paying, because in those agreements, you don't have any knowledge. There's no knowledge about what you're going to be paying in the beginning. And then you have to be like, oh, okay, well, what am I going to be paying? Well, you don't know. You don't know, because it doesn't tell you. It just goes, oh, yes, do you want to make peace or do you not want to make peace? Do you want to vote for peace or do you not want to vote for peace? And that's it. It doesn't tell you how much you're going to be paying. And as a result, you then get this situation. where I'm now paying 11,600 every single day, which is bonkers. Really. That is absolute bonkers. I'm not entirely sure how they're even getting away with that, to be honest. It feels like daylight robbery, you know? Anyway, we're going to hopefully get this wonderful, wonderful, very nicely crafted gate destroyed. And then we'll be able to head inside. I am going to be playing this very, very carefully. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to literally let a lot of my forces go in first. And if we do end up losing quite a few people, then that's just how it's going to have to be. But generally, that is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be... oh, hello. Okay, interesting. Bit of a weird situation to be in right here. Because I was kind of thinking to myself, okay, what's going on here? They just let some of these guys just kind of stand there, not doing much? I don't know. Kind of weird. Alright, well, let's try to destroy the gate then, shall we? Thank you very much. And we can maybe get our way through this as well. I've got to be a bit careful here. I am being shot, of course, because that's basically the... that's basically what's going to happen, pretty much, throughout the entirety of any siege, most of the time, because there are so many archers, so many gunners, and various little places that the opponent can shoot you from, because they are obviously very, very safe. Look at these guys. So many of them. Wow, that's pretty crazy. The fact that I can also be interrupted when I swing too, that's extremely, extremely toxic. Oh no, that is so bad. Okay, hello, there we go. Get him. Yes, get that guy. Maybe we can eliminate him. There we are, there we are. Very nice. And hopefully we can eliminate the rest without taking too much more damage. Alright, so it is going to be a death. It's actually going to be a death coming up pretty soon, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's anything I can really do about that. I mean, I can run away from this if I want to, but do I want to? That's the question. No, not really. I would like to stay in here and try to do as much damage as possible. Try to help our forces to push through this particular bottleneck. Obviously, it's a bit, shall we say, a bit deadly for us to be in. And we don't really want to leave our forces in this bad situation. So I'm going to just try... Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay, I see. This is a pretty... I gotta say, I actually really like this siege. It's just extremely hard to stay alive if you're not, you know, for example, if you're not going to starve out the garrison or anything like that. Because obviously I did starve them out. But this is an extremely cool siege. Very, very fun. And I am actually still alive, surprisingly enough. I really thought I was going to die here. Okay, yeah, no, we're good, we're good. There's only 12 people remaining. And I believe that's it. Yeah, look at that. Very cool. All right, we managed to live. Look at that. So I managed to live. Okay, so how many people did we actually eliminate total? Because that seems to be around kind of our limit, to be honest. Very much depends on how much damage we take over the course of the battle, of course, but we took out 521 enemies. So if there are at least 500 people in the garrison, we can kind of tell that we will be able to survive. But this is obviously very determined by pretty much every single factor that you can think of. Whether you're shot multiple times, whether you take cover in the appropriate moments, whether the gunners actually get lucky and shoot you in the face more than once or twice or just once, because sometimes they just kill you immediately. And there's 126 renown and 163 influence there for us, and we're going to be taking this guy prisoner once again. Now, bear in mind, there are a significant amount of castles in the area that we will be able to potentially take almost immediately after this, which would be fantastic. So let's actually see if we can maybe make that happen. I don't know whether we'll be able to, but it would be nice. So we'll just move on. Got a load of people that can level up as well. And indeed, as you can see, we're getting some things here. Just going to take that. There we go. Thank you very much. And now let's, we'll show some mercy here. Why not? Why not? And we'll just put a bunch of money in there as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the map and actually see what's happening here, because I'd love to see where we could potentially go next. Obviously, the Takeda clan, they're going to be making peace with us very, very soon due to the exhaustion. I could say no. That's the reason why I want to look at the map, so we can take a look and see just how close we are to eliminating them. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, 7. But we do have an army over there that is taking that castle as we speak. So it is within our best interest, potentially, to... Yes, to decline the exhaustion agreement. I think. Okay, yeah, it seems pretty good for us to do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are literally going to just give this to this guy over here. I want him to have as many fiefs as possible. He seems to be a new up-and-coming, rising star within the bear-tilled shogunate. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what he's capable of, if we can actually see him at all, because I have no idea whether he's going to even be able to do much. This guy is actually forming an army right now, so I will try and see if I can catch up to him. I am in a disorganized state at the moment, so I am obviously going to be a lot slower. We are having a herding problem? Why are we having a herding problem? It's kind of weird. Why would we have a herding problem right now? That's a bit strange. Okay, I guess I will get rid of a couple of horses then. There we go. Whoa, really? That many? Okay. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue, isn't it? Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. Okay, yeah, I guess what we'll do is we will get rid of this. Wow, yeah, we are moving so much faster without these horses, unfortunately. Not really something I wanted, but definitely something that was necessary. I don't even need the money. That's the funny thing. I don't even need the money, so I can get rid of all of these, and then we'll be absolutely fine. Yeah, as you can see, the herding has now disappeared. Yes, it's now disappeared. So that's great. Okay, so there we go. Now I am much faster than these guys. I am going to actually decline the exhaustion here. And let's see. Oh. Okay. That is not one of my people, is it? Because he's... Wait a minute. No, just the same name. They're using the same name. That is actually hilarious. Okay, so, yeah, we're going to have to actually fight these guys. Not something that I wanted to do, to be honest. All things considered. I didn't really want to fight these fellows right now. They have mounted scouts. They have some elite cavalry as well. Okay, might be a bit problematic. I mean, I have taken quite a bit of damage here as well. I have 52% HP. Well, my gunners are having a great time shooting at the opponent right now, but unfortunately, as you can see, because of the amount of elite cavalry... They have so many elite cavalry? Really? Okay, I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't have so many elite cavalry, but apparently they do. This is pretty crazy. Because I didn't see this many in the composition that I looked at. So I'm quite surprised, actually, at that. Well, I guess the best thing I can do is just try to do as much damage as possible to pretty much anything I can get my hands on at this point. And we'll see maybe if that's going to be good enough to get us the victory. If it is, then great. If it isn't, then, well, I'm going to go back to the drawing board by the looks of things, and we'll probably go back to Saikai territory or something like that and try to recuperate a gunner-focused army that can actually defeat these enemies with very little, should we say, very little effort. Unfortunately, are we actually doing okay right now? This is such a mess. This is a huge mess and a half, isn't it? Look at this. Am I gonna die in this situation? Maybe. Ooh, okay, that was a nice hit. That was a nice hit by that guy. Alright, so we had eliminated 140. They've eliminated 51 of ours. This could go pretty badly for us, actually. Yeah, it's starting to go very, very badly for us now. Okay, we're gonna have to... try to get away here. 52 soldiers we're gonna lose. That is... just how it has to be, unfortunately. We're going to have to go back to the town. Let's see if we can make it. I mean, obviously we are going to make it because we don't have a disorganized state or anything like that. So that's obviously going to be completely fine. And indeed, we do have a huge amount of people that I can now convert to our side, which will, in fact, recuperate all of our losses. Pretty much all of our losses, at least. So there you go. It just goes to show that we are not invulnerable by any means. We can be defeated very easily, surprisingly so. I was actually thinking that we would have a pretty decent shot at achieving victory there, but apparently not. No. Apparently not. Very surprising. Anyway, that is probably going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.